First round of the 2025 NFL draft coming up tomorrow night. Obviously, your New Orleans Saints hold that 9th overall pick. Ross Jackson, who is with us at LouisianaSports.net yesterday, put out a whole 7-round mock draft. I have some thoughts on it. I did mention a little bit yesterday, Ross does have the Saints trading back up into the first round at 32 overall, taking that pick from the Philadelphia Eagles to take quarterback Jaxson Dart. We'll certainly talk about that one, but just kind of want to look at some of the major picks. At 9 overall, Ross Jackson has the Saints taking Tyler Warren. I am all for the Saints taking Tyler Warren. I love him at 9. I just don't know if he'll be there. This morning on OTB, T-Bob had me do a mock draft. I had Tyler Warren going in the top 5. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars like him, and if they don't take him, the Jets are a possibility there at 7. Again, I would love Tyler Warren at 9. I just don't know if he's there. However, if he's there, I do think the New Orleans Saints take it. If he's gone, then what? In my opinion, it could be Mason Graham. I know that Mason Graham has kind of been the overwhelming favorite for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yesterday, Adam Schefter came out and said, I don't know what the Jaguars are going to do, but I'm pretty confident in saying they're not going to take Mason Graham. So if he's not there, the Panthers pass on Mason Graham. He's there at 9. No more Tyler Warren. Ashton Genty's likely going to go 6 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see why it can't be Mason Graham. He's a guy that's an immediate plug-and-play starter on the defensive line. Interior D-line is a position of need for you. But again, I do agree with Ross that if Tyler Warren's there at number 9, I do think the Saints take it. Again, at that second pick in round 1, 32 overall, he does have the Saints taking Jaxson Dart. I'd be okay with it as long as you don't give up a lot. For what it's worth, in this mock draft, Ross has the Saints giving up 40 overall, 131 overall, but they get back 134 and a 2026 second-round pick. If that's what it takes, I'm all for it. Make that move. By all accounts, Kellen Moore loves Jaxson Dart, and I'm to the point now to where I trust Kellen Moore with quarterbacks. He's had a lot of success in the NFL with a lot of different quarterbacks. If you remember, he started his career with Dallas, did some nice things with Dak Prescott, moved on, went to Justin Herbert. Herbert, a very different quarterback than Dak Prescott, had success with the Chargers, moves on, goes to Jalen Hurts. Definitely a different type of player than Dak Prescott and Justin Herbert, and he wins a Super Bowl. I'm good with whatever Kellen Moore wants to do. If he thinks that Jaxson Dart is the best quarterback in this class for the New Orleans Saints, who am I to argue with him? I think there's a chance you might actually have to go higher than 32, though. I broke this down a little bit yesterday. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to fall, but what if the Steelers like Jaxson Dart better than Shedeur Sanders? The Saints appear to like Jaxson Dart better than Shedeur Sanders, so it's not a crazy thought. They're at 21. Could you trade up to 20 overall with the Denver Broncos? That's something I kind of threw out there yesterday. The biggest issue is if you trade back up to 32, you're going to have to give up 40 overall. If you give up 40 overall, I don't know what you do at receiver, because I was all for, look, if you pass on Teteroa McMillan, I'm good with that. You could get a 6'4 wide receiver like a Jaden Higgins at 40 overall. But you may not have 40 overall. Ross Jackson has the Saints at 71 overall in the 3rd round, taking Utah State wide receiver Jalen Royals. I like Jalen Royals. In 2022, he played in 13 games, or 23, played in 13 games, 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 15.2 yards per catch. Now, last season, he was in and out of the lineup with injuries, but by all accounts, he should be a full go for the start of the season. Only played in 7 games, but he was on pace to have a really good season. 834 yards, 6 touchdowns in only 7 games. Also, again, 15.2 yards per catch. He was a really productive player in college. The biggest issue with him is he's not that big-bodied receiver that Saints fans wanted. But who is at that spot? Jalen Royals hovers around 6 feet. And I know what people are going to say. Well, you have Brandon Cooks and Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave. Why draft a guy like that? Because if you give up 40 overall to go get your quarterback, those receivers that you're looking for are going to be taken. This is a whole round later. Again, I like Jaden Higgins. He will not be there at 71. I promise you. He may not be there at 40, but he is definitely not going to be there at 71. But the good news is the Saints still get a solid receiver who I think can come in and play early. Again, he may not be that big-bodied guy you're looking for, but he's a guy nonetheless. Round 4 is interesting. He has the, he's second pick in the third round, 93 overall. Charles Grant from William & Mary, the offensive lineman. A lot of people are really high on Charles Grant. We know Mickey Loomis loves the small school guys. That makes a lot of sense. In round 4, Baron Sorrell, the edge rusher from Texas. He might not be considered one of the elite pass rushers in this class, but he could develop into one. 6 sacks last year, 11 tackles for a loss. He showed he could be a pass rusher and a run defender. He was pretty good. A guy that could be versatile in the scheme. He can stand up on the edge. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can rush the passer. He's a pretty good all-around player. I think that's pretty good value there in the 4th round. And in the second 4th round pick, this is 134 overall. This is the pick swap that he has them doing with Philly. You had 131, you now have 134. Noel Williams, the cornerback from Cal. I'm good with it. Again, solid pick. Good value there in the 4th round. You need a corner. I would actually be okay with them going corner 9 overall. I don't see that happening, though. Will Johnson had a bunch of injuries last year in Michigan. I don't know if they feel confident enough with Jedi Barron to draft him at 9 overall. But you still need a corner. Noel Williams fills that void. In the 6th round, Dylan Fairchild, the offensive lineman out of Georgia. I would love this pick in the 6th round. This might be your best value pick in the entire draft for the New Orleans Saints. 6'5", 315 pounds, and he's been a versatile player. 2022, he didn't play a ton. 15 snaps total, all at right guard. Now in 23, it was a different story. 435 snaps at left guard, 114 snaps at right guard. Now in 24, he was predominantly the left guard. 871 snaps at left guard, just 5 at right guard. But he can play on both sides of the line of scrimmage. We talk about showing up your tackle spot, and I get it. You don't know what you think about Trevor Penning, but your guard spot might even be in a worse spot because at least you have Taliesin Fuaga to play your other tackle. I like this pick. I think he adds versatility. And then you go look at his production. 2024, 74.6 grade. Okay, but in 3 seasons at Georgia, 22, 23, 24, gave up a total of 1 sack, 7 quarterback hurries last year, 5 the year before. Gave up 1 career sack from the interior, and he can play on the left and right side. I love that pick there in round 6. Round 7, remember the Saints have 2 7th-round picks. The first one he has is Will Shepard. Another pick I really like. Shepard, 2,600 yards, 27 touchdowns in his college career. That 4-year career between Vandy and Colorado. And he's got the size that you're looking for. Now, he's not one of these top 2 or 3 receivers in the draft. But Will Shepard's a guy that has been productive in multiple spots in college. And he's got the size you're looking for. 6'3", 190 pounds. So you get the really productive, really athletic Jalen Royals in round 3. You get the value pick in round 7, Will Shepard, a bigger guy who kind of fills that need of size-wise what you're looking for a receiver. So he has him taking 2 receivers, 2 completely different players, but 2 guys I think can make a pretty early impact. And at 254 overall, the last pick for the New Orleans Saints, Ross picked Riley Mills, the defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. He's a little undersized for defensive tackle. You look at his height, he's 6'5", 273 pounds. 5-year player at Notre Dame, and a really, really good player in 2024. 7.5 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss, 37 tackles. Again, that's predominantly on the interior. He did move around a little bit. At 6'5", 275, you can play inside, you can play outside, depending on where you need it. Another versatility pick, another high-value pick late in this NFL draft. The biggest issue with Riley Mills is he's coming off the ACL tear. He tore it in that playoff game against Indiana. This is a guy that would be drafted a lot higher if he was fully healthy. In all likelihood, Riley Mills will not be ready for the start of the season. However, if he can come back fully healthy at any point in the year, I think this is a high ceiling draft pick for you. Riley Mills was a super productive player in college at Notre Dame.
Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, how help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.